Hey everybody, Dave here, formerly of 8-Bit Memoirs. We started a new channel, actually I started a new channel, called DaveInchNails. I was going to go for Dave Against the Machine, however, I couldn't get the last E on there because there's a type limit. Anyway, long story short, this channel is going to be a lot of traveling videos, a lot of tour videos, and actually today I wanted to show you my gaming collection, which we've talked about quite a bit on the old channel. However, I have a few caveats. I got all my stuff down here from New Hampshire, and I got rid of all the doubles and triples and extra consoles and bullshit like that. So I've really wired down the collection from just about everything, where I was just collecting like crazy, to the things I really enjoy. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I have that set up, which is pretty cool, I think. And also later on we'll do a tour of the house. I know you can probably hear it pretty echoey because we don't have a lot of furniture in here yet, because we're still waiting for a lot of it to be delivered. So first things first, let me give you a tour of the video game trunk. Basically the video game trunk is this beauty right here. Somehow we managed to fit all of our gaming stuff in here. There's actually a really good, a really good system I have down here. Don't mind these crazy little bumpers on here, it's just because I don't want to fuck up the wall I just painted the other day. Because this fucker leans up against it. I should also mention that this trunk is about, probably from the early 1900s is my guess, maybe late 1800s. It actually belonged to Chris's great-grandfather. So, anyway, this is a bit of the collection here. Let me get this little thing out of the way so it doesn't slap into the camera. Okay, let's dig here. This right here, 8BMG, what could that stand for? Probably 8-Bit Memoirs. All the stuff that's in here is just like all the different DVDs, DVD-Rs and stuff that we burned at the channel. I think there's a little porn in there too. Close that bad boy up. Put this up here. Basically everything's kind of stacked in here, but it's stacked in here in a way that I can get to pretty much anything I want whenever I want it. So here we have the Atari Flashback, which I think is like a really cool system. And basically all it is like a $30 Atari that has like a bunch of built-in games and crap in it. So it still uses the same controllers as the old school ones, same plugins. You could also plug in a Genesis controller to this and it would work fine. I'm not going to bother digging it out of there because that's kind of a pain in the ass. Plus I got one hand on a camera. The next thing in here is Chris's Game Boy. You know, we've all seen Game Boys. But what the hell, I'll open it up. Yeah, this thing's seen some, this thing's been played, I can't even fucking get it out of there. Anyway, this is a two-handed operation right there. So that's Chris's Game Boy. Just put the Game Girl up there. Got the Genesis. Anytime you want to play Genesis, bam, pull out the box. Got my favorite games in here, my console, controllers, all the wires. Earthworm Jim, Mortal Kombat, a lot of these you've seen on the channel, Streets of Rage. So, got the Genesis handy in case I ever want to freaking play that. I don't play the Genesis as much as a lot of other people do. I think it's a great console, but I don't know. Not really my favorite. I grew up with the NES and the Super Nintendo. But digging a little deeper, we have the N64 controller and all the wires and all that good stuff. Put in these like old gray Nintendo game cartridge holder type things. I just feel like it's a real easy way to kind of stick it all in the same spot. So anyway, you pull that out, bring it over to the entertainment center and plug everything in. But I got a few games here. I only kept 5 games for the N64 because there's only like 5 I liked. Obviously, Zelda. Gotta have Zelda. Anyone who plays the N64, you have to have Zelda. I hate Mario 64, but I kept it because I've never beat it, so I want to finish it eventually. Rainbow Six, definitely a classic. A must-have for any N64 collection. Hexen. I actually found this game, and I thought it was pretty cool, so I held on to it. And, yeah, Bond. That's right. Okay, anyway, moving right along. we get the my retro duo of 8-Bit Memoirs fame. I have a SNES, I have the Yobo, and I have a regular Nintendo. There's just no sense keeping them all in this one box, or this one chest here, because this will play all the games anyway, so why fuck with that? So if you want to play this, you just pull this bad boy out, move the N64 carts to the side for a moment. We held on to some Nintendo tapes that we really enjoyed, some that we really didn't enjoy. I don't know why I hung on to them, but, you know, got all the classics here. Just do a quick little pan, a little bit of everything. Some of these you've seen on the channel, some of them you haven't. Some of them you won't, because we're done. Got my Game Genies because I cheat like a bastard. I got 2 of them. One of these works for the Retro Duo, one of them works for the Yobo, and I think they both work for the regular Nintendo. So since we're talking about Super Nintendo, as the Retro Duo will play all those games, you know, I kept the classics here, my favorites. But, I don't know, Zelda, probably my favorite SNES game, along with Mario All-Stars. And once again, BAM! Game Genie, Mr. Ronnie Moore. I remember when I got this thing in the mail, I'm like, what the fuck? Ronnie Moore? Like, who writes their names on video games? What the hell is that? Anyway, Ronnie Moore. So I refer to that as Ronnie Moore. Then naturally the Game Genie for the Genesis, gotta have that. Let's put these bad boys back in here. The N64 back in here real quickly. Okay, what else we got here? Obviously, you can see a PlayStation 2 and a PS1. Got all the wires and whatnot. Also, yeah, I like to cheat, baby. There's the Game Shark, gotta have. Move the PS2 out of the way. There we go. And then underneath, obviously, some PS2 games, my favorites. I love the Legacy of Kain series. You can probably see a few titles. You got Blood Omen over here, and Defiance. Obviously the Suikoden series, definitely one of my favorites. Have all those games. It was a bitch to find them all, and it was friggin' expensive to put that together. It's memory cards. Gotta have the Final Fantasies, and Wild Arms, another good series, Lunar. So I really like the RPGs on the PlayStation and PlayStation 2. I really felt like that console did such a kick-ass job with RPGs. So I'm gonna put all this shit back. 360, the fabulous modded 360 courtesy of Retro Basement. Those guys kick ass. Might be ordering another one pretty soon. This is the only part where it doesn't really fit in the chest very well. But, you know, my Xbox and GameCube, I have the 360 now, so I don't even bother with the friggin' GameCube now. I mean GameCube, what am I talking about? The original Xbox. So anyway, my 360, this probably looks familiar. All my games in this little fucker here. Do have some more on the way. And then as you can see, the GameCube down in the bottom here, some Xbox games, GameCube games, 360 games. And this little fucker, coolest thing ever, man. Those little plug and plays, just plug it into the TV, play like Pac-Man, Space Command, and all that shit for hours. Absolutely love that. So that's the gaming chest, as I like to call it. And I don't know, it was one of those things where like I wanted to have my stuff out here in like the living area, but I couldn't justify having like all my shit strung out around this house, because not only do I know that would piss Chris off, but you know, we're not like kids anymore, and we're both not like ridiculous hardcore gaming people, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense for us to have all this stuff just jammed up everywhere. So as you can see, the house is still pretty empty. Cabbage Patch Dolls for the win. But anyway, it's a quick peek of the pad. It's my fabulous slippers on the floor. But anyway, guys, thanks for checking us out. And should be some traveling videos, probably around Austin in the near future. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to have those videos, but I want to put something up on the channel, so I figured why not give you a quick tour of the video game chest. So now you have an idea of what I was working with when I was doing all those 8-Bit Memoirs things. And yeah, so first video for the channel. Expect a tour of this place pretty soon. And it's about time for me to go outside and grill some pork because Chris is going to be home soon and we're having pork. Thanks for watching.